Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we've got a really special session ahead of us. We're basically laying out your personal roadmap to successfully complete your upcoming Counting Our Blessings assignment. Consider this explainer your ultimate guide. Over the next 5 minutes or so, we're going to do a quick, highly focused overview of the core concepts and preview the 3 specific videos you'll be watching for your homework. By the time we wrap up, you're going to have a crystal clear understanding of exactly what to look for and how to absolutely crush this project. So let's get into it. Okay, let's dive right into our agenda. We're making 5 crucial stops on our tour today. First, counting your blessings. Second, the $100 race. Third, a philosophy for happiness. Fourth, nature and gratitude. And finally, number 5, gifts versus earned privileges.
Starting off with Section 1. Counting your blessings and stepping outside our troubles.
So the core goal of your assignment is to take a step back and regain perspective on what we actually have rather than fixating on what we lack. To frame this, think about this story from your reading. A teacher is walking a disruptive student down the hall to the office, right? And the teacher asks the kid why he's acting out. The student stops dead in his tracks and says, "You don't know the troubles I have. If you really want to understand me, you'd have to see the world through my shoes." Troubles. It's a perfect little mashup of troubles and problems. We literally all have our own unique troubles. It is so easy to fall into the trap of believing everyone else has it better. But the reality is, we can never fully understand what someone else is going through. Recognizing our own privileges requires us to briefly hit pause and step outside of our own troubles.
Moving right along to Section 2, the $100 race, or, as we like to call it, the lottery of birth.
The very first video on our roadmap is The $100 Race by Peter D. It is totally eye-opening. He lines students up on a field for a foot race, and the prize is a crisp $100 bill. But before he even says go, he demonstrates the concept of a head start by asking certain students to take 2 steps forward based on their background. He asks things like, take 2 steps forward if both of your parents are still married. Or take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private education. Take 2 steps forward if you never worried about your cell phone being shut off. As he lists these off, you watch this straight line of students stagger and separate. Some kids end up way at the front, while others are left standing right at the original starting line.
And this brilliantly illustrates the main point, which is captured perfectly in this quote from Peter. Nothing you've done has put you in the lead that you're in right now. As you watch this video for your assignment, pay really close attention to the realization dawning on these students' faces. It's a powerful moment. He makes it completely clear that while, yes, everyone still has to run their own race, many of the advantages we hold are completely unearned. Recognizing that head start, that is the absolutely crucial first step in counting our blessings.
That brings us to Section 3, a philosophy for happiness, focusing on the can-do.
While our first video focused on social and economic privileges, our second video stop challenges us to think about physical privileges. It features a remarkable teenager named Sam Burns. Sam was a 17-year-old high school junior who lived with progeria. If you don't know, that's a very rare genetic disease that causes rapid premature aging. Because of his condition, Sam weighed only about 50 pounds. Now, his absolute dream was to play the snare drum in his high school marching band. But here's the catch. A standard snare drum and harness weigh about 40 pounds. That is nearly as much as Sam himself. Logistically, it was an immense physical obstacle. But instead of letting his troubles defeat him, Sam and his family worked with an engineer. They designed a custom 6-pound snare drum apparatus so he could get out there and march.
Let's see how this builds into Sam's overarching worldview. In his TED Talk, he cleanly lays out a 3-part philosophy for a happy life. Step 1, be okay with what you ultimately can't do, because there is still so much you can do. Step 2, surround yourself with people you want to be with, people of high quality. And step 3, keep moving forward. As you watch Sam's video, notice how actively he shifts his focus. He completely moves away from the negative aspects of his disease and channels all his energy toward his passions and the people he loves. It's truly inspiring. On to Section 4, nature and gratitude, cultivating appreciation.
Our third and final video preview features Louis Schwartzberg. He's a filmmaker who has been shooting stunning time-lapse photography of flowers continuously, non-stop for over 30 years. His work explores how the sheer beauty of nature is actually a tool for survival and a gateway to profound gratitude. Now, what's really interesting here is a striking quote featured in the video from brother David Steindl-Rast. It's the only gift you have right now, and the only appropriate response is gratefulness. He's talking about today, Waking up to a new day, having eyes to see colors, having a heart to feel vibrations, just turning on a faucet to get clean, warm water. These are immense privileges that millions of people around the world will literally never experience. This video is going to prime you to think about the absolute most foundational blessings in your life.
And finally, Section 5, Gifts versus Earned Privileges and Preparing for Your Chart.
Let's bring this explainer directly back to the core mechanics of your assignment. You need to list 15 privileges in your life, categorize them, and then write a gratitude letter to someone who has deeply impacted you. To ace this, you have to understand the grading rubric's distinction between a gift and an earned privilege. So, on the left side, we have gifts. These are blessings bestowed upon you over which you had zero control. You didn't necessarily deserve them, they were just given to you, kind of like the head starts in the $100 race. On the right side, we have earned privileges. These are things you've achieved directly through your own hard work, sweat, and personal effort.
To put that into perspective, let's look at how this translates to your actual chart using real student examples from the source material. Check out My Car. For this student, that was marked as a gift. Then look at My Education. They marked that as earned, probably because they study hard to get their grades. But right below it, My Mom Paying Tuition is marked as a gift, because that financial support was bestowed upon them. When you fill out your own 15 items, you'll really need to think critically. Ask yourself, did I truly earn this item, or was it a gift of my circumstances?
And that brings us to the end of our roadmap. You now have the context of the $100 race to understand unearned advantages, the pure inspiration of Sam Burns' can-do philosophy, and the mindfulness of Louis Schwartzberg's nature time-lapse to guide your reflections. So I'm going to leave you with this. When you finally take a moment to step back from your own troublums, what will your chart look like? Dive into those videos, reflect on your privileges, and I wish you the absolute best of luck on your assignment.